Hi. Happy Dog Day to all that have doggies in their lives. Hi. It's good to see people coming in. So this is a very short 20 to half an hour comment on Codependent No More. I really want to set my intention right away because this is recorded and I'm gonna upload it. I want to, when you go and like go into the temple and you leave your shoes at the door. So same, I wanna like as much as I can like leave my ego at the door so that I can be of service of healing. And so that's my intention, and I'm just gonna set it for now. And today is an exciting day because it's a little bit of a tough love kind of thing, because we are gonna go over the characteristics of codependency. So if you wonder if you are or not, or like you're looking for some guidance or like which areas of your life to look at, that would do. It's a long list, but I think it could be really helpful for people. So there's that. And I want to start saying that today is my grandma's 10-year anniversary of her death. And this hit me just, I didn't, of course I didn't remember, because I mean it's a lot of things going on. Mauricio, you make me happy here. So my grandma was a wife of an alcoholic, abusive man, my grandpa. And she, so I was thinking, like, when you're in a codependency, it's not easy to leave the relationship, but sometimes it's not even an option. Like sometimes you just have to stay. Especially women were raised in a society where we have to, like, we're supposed to, and I don't identify as a woman anymore, but I grew up like that I needed to, like, I don't know, like men could be alcoholic or abusive, or they could be like emotionally unavailable, and women have to like just deal with it because that's how the world is, which is just a setup for codependency right there. And so my grandma could not, was not able to leave my grandpa for a long time because she didn't have the means or anything. But when she was 70 years old, she decided to leave my grandpa, which honestly just amazed me, because she could have not do it, like she could have stayed just Daniel, hey, no, Ali. She could just have stayed there and not leave the situation. She left her house and went to live with us, with my mother and I. And she is just my hero, because it's not a given that we can, the fact that we can think about codependency and how to leave the situation is definitely, oh, hey, Harai, is definitely like a privilege. And my grandma didn't have it for a long time, but when she was 70, she decided to leave her abusive partner, and I think that is beautiful. So today, 10 years after she passed, I'm just celebrating for her courage, and like the fact that because of the work that our ancestors have done is that we're here trying to work these things out. So that's nice. And as I was saying before, today is very juicy because we're gonna just go over a list of characteristics so that we can see which areas we can work. And maybe we need like a reality check with this and see like, oh, actually, maybe we're codependent, maybe we're not. But this is gonna be super helpful. But before that, just a couple of things that I wanted to share. I was in a silent retreat last Wednesday, which is why I couldn't do this live, and I tried to upload the video, but I couldn't anyway. I put it on my YouTube channel. But one of the stories that came to me during this retreat that I think speaks about codependency is like a short story that just like really came to me. And so I'm gonna tell you like a children's book kind of thing. So once upon a time there was a creature from outside of the earth, like an alien if you want, and that creature really wanted to know humanity. But they knew that if they show up just as they are, like a little weird, like out of space, maybe humans would be scared. So they decided to present themselves as a cloud, like a beautiful, well-shaped cloud, and from the distance to observe humans. So humans would be like, oh, look at that cloud, it looks like a dog, it looks like a monkey, like, and then the cloud that is not a cloud was gonna like learn from humanity. But the price that the cloud was paying, which is really deep, is not being themselves, and having such a big distance with humanity would not let them actually get to know humanity at all. Hi everyone that is joining. So the alien just decided to take their form, their real form, and come to Earth as they are. And what that happened, they were taken to experiment, and like, hey Carla, experiment, and like a lot of like suffering came in. But that creature also was able to see real love and real service from humanity, because under difficult circumstances humans just put their lives on the line to save them. So at the end of this like lifetime of this creature, it was time to go home. And what they learned was that they actually knew humanity, the shadows and the good. So coming down from the cloud and like just interacting with humans was really, really deep and profound, and suffering could happen. But then actually the knowledge just was actually working for what the purpose was at the beginning. And like this can have a lot of interpretations, but I'm thinking of codependency because we as codependent, we are like the cloud. We don't present ourselves as we are because we could not. It was not safe for us in our childhood just to be us, to be needy if we were needy, as like regular young people or children. We had to like put a face to survive. And then the price we pay is that we actually don't have like a real connection with others if we're trapped in that kind of like codependency issue, because we just receive love that is depending on this fake image of us, and then we think that is like real love, and it's not a real connection. So I think like that was something that I wanted to tell you, which is part of this process of healing, is how to be authentic, how to be ourselves in relationship without accommodating to what others expect from us. And I think that's the goal for us in this like journey. So that was something I wanted to share with you. And the other thing that I wanted to share is so I was looking at like Insta and all like the accounts that I follow, and one of those that I might just refer when I upload the video is Dr. Marielle Bouquet, and she was giving some advice for grounding. So how can we so she called sensitive people that are empaths, and we have talked about how codependents could have a lot of similarities with empaths, right? Or sensitive people. And one of the things that she was recommending was to connect with nature, which seems like maybe not as useful, but I seriously recommend it. That's why I go to the lake and I just like stay in nature. Other way of grounding for us could be, she said, to have a piece of like nature at home. So I have like a lot of rocks in my desk and like at the door, and like some sort of like an altar also, so that you can like step out of your like convoluted self and like go to the altar. And other thing that she said that I think is really point is that we tend to be very negative because we observe a lot of other people. So as like the story of the alien would be like really getting to know the negative of humans, right? So we might have to like counterbalance that with positive stuff. So like things are looking at documentaries about what's good in the world, or like comedies. She was saying she likes comedies, so like just look at comedies or like stuff to balance out the negativity. And I think that those are great advices. Music, things that like lately I've been like dancing in like at my place and like playing some cumbia, and like those are things that I just somehow forget to do for myself. And I think that those grounding techniques can help us to cope with the codependency that comes with a lot of like difficulties and feelings and all that. So those are like some of the things I wanted to share with you. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that codependency is among people, right? It's not like you're codependent and there's another person that is engaged in this negative creation, right? So it's like there is like a prototype. One person is the caretaker and the other is the one that is in like that needs help, or like the needy person, will say. And that makes codependency, right? So it's not that you're alone doing this, or that the person that is the needy one is just doing it to you, right? So what happens is that like the needy person, quote unquote, which is words, they already have a lot of help if they are alcoholic or like drug addicts or sex and love addicts. But the one that is the caretaker is the one that doesn't have necessarily the help that they need. So that's why the book here and like our work is emphasizing in this person that is the one that is the caretaker. But in a lot of cases, as I was telling you, you can go back and forth in the same dynamic. So I would I consider myself a person that is very needy, but and I'm working of that. But then I will pair up with someone that is even like in a worse place that I am, and I'm gonna forget my needs and I'm gonna be the strong one for them. So at the end, what happens, and a lot of like alcoholics, that's why could be also codependent in this sense, right? The thing is that you don't have access to what you need. So or you like ask for someone else to take care of you, being the needy person, or you become the strong one and you put your needs aside and you like just go and help others, right? So it needs more than one to be codependent, and I just wanted us to remember that at the same time that we're just committed to take what is our responsibility, right? So the person that is the needy one or whatever, they have to do their job, and then we as codependents, the strong ones, we need to do our job. So that's like that dynamic that we gotta like get more clarity on. Cool. So to start with, and maybe if you join later, this is juicy because it's a list of characteristics of the codependent, and so maybe you can see if you fit, or which areas you need to work on in your life. So I think it's very useful. And she starts saying things that I want just to like read out to you, that they are things we need to recognize, accept, live with, deal with, struggle through, and frequently change. So there's some sort of like at first you are aware of your problem, issue, whatever, and then you have acceptance, and then you can change it, right? So that's why we're doing this job. And something important that maybe you don't believe like consciously, but it is like a message, is that having these problems, it doesn't mean you're bad, right? So it's not inferior or defective. As I was telling you, this is something we learn when we're little, and then it becomes like a self-destructive practice, you know. But it's not that we're bad. And as I was telling you, as my grandmother, that I the story I was telling at the beginning, women, she says here, were taught these behaviors, and really like in our society, like patriarchy just teach women to be codependent. So that is something that we have just to overcome, right? Cool. So we can learn to do things differently. That's the whole point. And let's see what is it that we have to learn today. So I'm gonna read the list. It's like a litany. I'm sorry, but I really think it's so helpful. Like I was like, oh, this hurts, because there's so many things here that I was like, yeah. So if you wanna like, I don't know, make a like a 1 or a 2 or a 0, depending on which one you feel like it fits with your relationships. So I'm just gonna read for us. So the first one is caretaking, because remember that is one of the main issues, right? So codependents may think and feel responsible for other people's needs, feelings, thoughts, actions, choices, wants. So that is clearly one thing. Feel anxiety, pity, and guilt when other people have a problem. Feel compelled to help that person solve the problem. So we're very good at solving everyone's problem. Feel angry when their help is not effective. Anticipate other people's needs. I'm so good at this, I can tell you. Wonder why others do not do the same for them. So if you feel like you're always helping and you wonder why is it that nobody like take care of me as well as I take care of others, you might have this something going on there. Find themselves saying yes when they mean no. That's a good one too. Not know what they want or need, or if they do, tell themselves what they want and need is not important. So of course, if you're taking care of someone that is on crisis constantly, your needs doesn't matter, right? Because you have to save them, and so that's a biggie too. Feel safest when given, classic. Feel insecure and guilty when someone gives to you. Feel sad because they spend their whole lives giving to others people and nobody gives to them, which is similar to what we saw. Find themselves attracted to needy people. So if you keep saying like, why is it that I bring partners to me that are like needy, so there is something that you're putting out there, right? Find needy people attracted to them, damn it. And then feel bored, empty, and worthless if they don't have a crisis in their life, so a problem to solve or someone to help. Abandon their routine to respond to or do something for somebody else. So again, if you have someone that has like a mental illness or that is emotionally unavailable, that is in constant crisis, you might just drop everything you do to help them, and that is a problem. Overcommit. Feel harried and pressured. Believe deep inside other people are somehow responsible for them. So this is interesting because you are the responsible one, but that has like a double edge. So you think you're responsible for the person you're like in a relationship with, and you feel frustrated because no one is helping you, which means you think someone else has the responsibility, not yourself. So that is an interesting one. Blame others for the spot the codependents are in. Say other people make the codependents feel the way they do, classic. Believe other people are making them crazy. Feel angry, victimized, unappreciated, and used. Oh, hey. Find other people become impatient or angry with them for all the characteristics I just read. So that one is good. Then we're gonna see low self-worth, which I just want to tell you that with all the work that I have done, this one I can see myself being a lot of this before, and now it's getting better. So it definitely works, pays out, the inner work pays out for sure. So in this area, codependents tend to come from trouble, repressed, or dysfunctional families. So think about your childhood. Deny their family was trouble, repressed, or dysfunctional. Blame themselves for everything. Pick on themselves for everything, including the way they think, feel, look, act, and behave. Get angry, defensive, self-righteous, and indignant with others when others blame and criticize codependents. Reject compliments or praise. Oh, this is a classic. It's difficult for us to receive, and that is also an inability to connect with people, because receiving is an act of love. Like to actually receive something is really profound, and if you're not ready, because you just can't, so that is something you have to work on. Get depressed for lack of compliments and praise. So this one is a good one too. Feel different from the rest of the world. Think they're not quite good enough, classic. Feel guilty about spending money on themselves or doing unnecessary or fun things for themselves. This seems extreme. Fear rejection. Take things personally. Have been victims of sexual, physical, or emotional abuse, neglect, or abandonment, or alcoholism. Feel like victims, classic too. Tell themselves they cannot do anything right. Be afraid of making mistakes. Wonder why they have a tough time making decisions. Expect themselves to do everything perfectly, sad. Wonder why they can't get anything done to their satisfaction. Feel guilty. My dog is showing up. Happy day of the dog. Wish good things would happen to them. That is something. Believe they don't deserve good things and happiness. Wish other people would like them and love them. Believe other people couldn't possibly like and love them. Try to prove they're good enough for other people, or settle for being needed. So I'm gonna okay, no dogs. Cool. We have just two more lists, and I know this is long, but I think it's useful. So, repression. Many codependents push their thoughts and feelings out of their awareness because of fear and guilt. Become afraid to let themselves be who they are, which is the story I started with, the cloud and the alien. Appear rigid and controlled. Obsession, guys, this one is big too. Codependents tend to feel terribly anxious about problems and people, worry about the silliest things, and I totally can see how I might make a whole drama out of like small things. Think and talk a lot about other people, lose sleep over problems or other people's behavior, worry, never find answers, check on people, try to catch people in acts of misbehavior, feel unable to quit talking, thinking, and worrying about other people's or problems, abandon their routine because they are so upset about somebody or something, focus all their energy on other people and problems. This was the definition of codependency. Wonder why they never have any energy. So this is a big one for me. For a long time I felt so lack of energy, a lot of like tiredness, and of course if you're taking care of someone else and repressing your feelings, you're gonna be really tired. And so that was another good one. Wonder why they never have energy, I just said that, and wonder why they can get things done. And so tough. Then I'm gonna read controlling and dependency, and that would be it. So controlling. Many codependents have lied through events and with people that were out of control, causing the codependent's sorrow and disappointment. Become afraid to let other people be who they are and allow events to happen naturally. Don't see or deal with their fear or loss of control. Think they know best how things should turn out and how people should behave. So if you have a lot of opinions about people and how they should do things this way or that way, there's something there. Try to control events and people through helplessness, guilt, coercion, threats, advice giving, manipulation, or domination. Classic. Get frustrated and angry and feel controlled by events and people. So the last one I wanted to read, and of course if you have the book you're gonna see the whole list. I was just trying to like pick on the ones that are most important. So the other one I thought I wanted to read is the one about dependency, because of course codependency. So many codependents don't feel happy, content, or peaceful with themselves. Look for happiness outside, latch onto whoever or whatever they think can provide happiness, feel terribly threatened by the loss of anything or person they think provides their happiness. Didn't love themselves, which I really think like inner work can do. Didn't feel love and approval for their parents. Desperately seek love and approval. Often seek love from people incapable of loving. This is really tough. Believe other people are never there for them. And the favorite one for me is equate love with pain. So, and this is also like the romantic classic idea that love and pain are the same. Sad. Feel they need people more than they want them. Try to prove they're good enough to be loved. Don't take time to see if other people are good for them. So this is classic when you jump into a relationship and you don't even give yourself the space to see if you actually like the person or not. You just like go. And same with friendship. Not all friendships work, but if you have these issues, you would just go and like overcommit. So that is something. Worry whether other people love or like them. Don't take time to figure out if they love or like other people, I was saying. Center their lives around other people. Look to relationships to provide all their good feelings. Lost interest in their own lives when they love. So, the codependency can go with family, with friends, with romantic partners. But, for example, in my case, I think I have it under control in other areas. But when I get into a romantic thing, I lose it. So that is one big. Stay in relationships that don't work. This one. Tolerate abuse to keep people loving them. Feel trapped in relationships, and leave bad relationships and form new ones that don't work either. The last one is wonder if they will ever find love. If they will ever find love. That hits me for sure. I have wonder about that. So the other thing that we have here is about communication and boundaries, and there's some about sex problems, which I think could be interesting, and anger. And at the end, there's like a mix of things. So that could be, if you want to go over those. I felt like a lot of connections, so I think that's intense and good. And so I think that was kind of what I wanted to share. As I was saying, like the book sometimes like is very focused on partners of alcoholics or like addicts, and I wanted to bring it more to like a general sense of like friendships and family, not necessarily so like extreme, so that we can think about what kind of work we have to do. And something that she says here that I was just so sad to read is like, why you're reading this book or why you're interested in codependency. So it says, you may be reading this book for yourself, you may be codependent, or you may be reading this book to help someone else. If so, you probably are codependent. So even if you go outside of yourself to read a whole book for another person, there might be something about it that makes you codependent. So that was like a little joke that I felt like it hurts. And she just ends with like a note of hope, right? This is all something that we can heal and recover, right? So that's why there are like recovery groups for codependency. And the good thing is that after this, the next chapter is just self-care. So we're gonna learn some techniques about self-care, which I think is really helpful, and we're gonna see how that can improve our lives. And so I'm excited about reading that. Yes, and I think same again, if you feel like some of the things I read speak to you, yes, Mauricio, there is some hope at the end of the tunnel. And I didn't even read the other characteristics, so if you already are like, yeah, so that is tough. Yes, I know, but I mean, it's better to know, it's better to have some ideas of what we're doing. And to be honest, I think there's so many people that are codependent. Like, I don't know who is not. I mean, you have to be very, I don't know, and like have a lot of light in your life or whatever, because there was no way our parents were perfect, right? And so we are already struggling, and so I think that's something to have in mind. And again, there is hope, and this is very common. This is stigmatized, but it's so common. So I just wanted to say that. And I know, Mauricio, you're laughing at the reading of the book. I think. So yeah, it is a funny joke, sad but true. Cool. Last words is, recovery from codependency is exciting. It's liberating. So I hope we all can have that sense of liberation in our lives. And that's my prayer for all of us. That's it. That's what I got today. Thank you, the ones who are here, or if you're watching the recording. Next time is gonna be good techniques and good stuff to work on. So see you, Laura. It's good to see you here. That's it. Take care.